And for Off the Block, I'm Vinny Lips, and we are now joined by Princeton men's volleyball head coach Sam Shweisky. Definitely want to make sure we said Princeton after the snafu on the net live earlier this week for those watching. But, Coach, huge win for the Tigers today. You guys beat Penn State in 4 games, 6-0 in the conference and in sole possession of first place. How would you set your team's play tonight in this road win?
Well, really pleased with just the way the team is playing right now. I mean, it's pretty special. We have a group of guys who, on any given night, different guys can step up and be the guy. And there's just a real selfless energy on the team right now, whether it's guys on the bench, guys coming on and off as subs or serving subs. Everyone's kind of really bought into the team is bigger than the individual, and you can feel that energy. And, we lost that first set and made 1 or 2 little changes, and all of a sudden things started to click, and just really pleased with how the guys responded.
Yeah. Well, talking about some differences, what were one of those 2 of the big changes or little changes that you were able to see and make in match?
It's pretty small. I mean, we're running a kind of a very unique hybrid offense with guys doing different things in different positions, and it's not that we're trying to confuse people. We're just trying to maximize everyone's abilities, and we really just switched 2 guys next to each other that just let Greg Luck get a little more involved, and he was having such a hot night, we just had to get him the ball more. And so he ended with the night with 17 kills, hitting 343, and passed I think a 2-3 or something like that, a really high number for the night. So we kind of knew George was going to be the consistent guy, and ended with 18 kills, hitting 270, which was great. And then just sort of switching a little bit up and letting Greg get the ball more really made a difference.
And, Coach, you talked about your pins, but also from the line, 10 aces tonight. Can you just talk about the serving and what you were seeing on the court, or what your players were able to do to be so successful out there?
Yeah, I mean, I wish I knew I could bottle it and sell it. But, yeah, I mean, we've been trying to work on serving and passing. I mean, that's really the direction the game has gone. Everybody can kind of get a kill when the ball's relatively in system, and it's like if you can knock the opponent off net a little bit, you have a chance to maybe do something with your block and defense. So, we just preach process and hope the guys take their time and do their routine and do their thing. And tonight we were really successful. I think the guys took some really big rips. I got to say, Jared Nelson did a fantastic job in the 4th set. Penn State made a run. They were closing the gap and coming back, and Jared went in and had an ace and some really big serves to sort of help give us some cushion to win that set. So, really pleased with the way they served tonight, especially difficult on the road to get in and get comfortable in a road gym and serve like that was really proud to see that. And
Coach, I do want to ask you, as you mentioned at the first question, kind of talking about just the bond of this team and the sum being greater than the parts. And I know that's something that you've preached, but among the team players and leaders, who have been some of the players that have really helped foster that bond and that mindset of the team?
Well, I think it really comes from the top down, and I think there's a bunch of guys, Billy Andrews, a guy, senior on the team, 5th-year senior, who, at different points in the season has not had, play as much playing time as you probably would have liked, and has handled it like just an incredible model of yelling and screaming and cheering on the bench. And then when he gets his turn, he gets in and he fights hard. And when he's not in, he's, coaching other players and motivating guys. And I think he's a big one in that regard. Greg Luck has sort of moved out of his outside traditional position more to the middle the last few games and has not liked it as much there. The middle's it's a thankless place. You don't get a lot of sets. You have to work really hard on your blocking. And he just took it in stride and worked hard, and now he's getting some more looks on the outside. But I think those 2 guys have really kind of set the tone for everybody else, so that not everyone's going to get what they want all the time. And that's kind of the life lesson here, And the guys that don't complain about it and just work hard and keep putting the team first are the ones that are going to do well in sports and in life. And so we're seeing that really team energy right now, and it's just a blessing to be a part of it.
And, Coach, I want to ask, it's kind of been an interesting thing looking at your program the last couple of years. 5 years ago when you guys are beating Stanford, it's a storm the court situation. Now, obviously, or not Stanford, you beat Penn State. It's a storm the court situation.
Well,
but
we did beat Stanford last year.
Or Stanford, you did beat Stanford. But I stand corrected that. But seeing about Penn State, obviously it's still a big win anytime you beat them. But what does it say about the program now, where it's really no longer considered a monumental upset when you beat Penn State? It's now kind of we're expected to go on in there and play with them.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of mind-blowing. I know my SID was texting me one of the stats, like I think Penn State won 45 of 46 matches, and then when Luck, Human, and Dixon got here, since they got here, we've won 3 of the last 5, all of which we had match ball on, and we won the last 3. It's just a different, the tides have turned a little bit, and, you're only as good as your last match and your last swing, so you never know how long it's going to last, when the next Aaron Russell will show up at Penn State and make us all beg for mercy. But, I'm really, really happy with the guys' mindset. They this whole week was, we can do this, and let's prepare, and let's, treat them with respect and treat them like the very talented team that they are and the incredibly talented program that they are, and let's go in there and try to win. And I'm really pleased and trying to keep everybody humble and hungry. And I think the captain's doing a good job of saying, hey, 1 point at a time, 1 step at a time. Let's just keep working hard.
Now, looking at the standings moving ahead, you got 8 conference matches left. You're in first place by 2 matches, or have a 2-match lead on everyone. Looking at this now, what do you guys have to do, just in terms of moving forward to, not to get too far ahead and start thinking about how awesome it would be to host a conference tournament in Dillon Gym?
Yeah, I think, every time, you hear somebody say that, I think it's nice to have your big outcome goals and to dream big, and then sort of get snapped back in reality and say, we got to work hard and fight out the next ball. I think kind of that workman-like attitude. And it starts tomorrow. I think the guys we just got back from dinner, and they're super excited about the win, but they realize St. Francis is on a tear right now. They just played a very good NJIT team in 1-3. Michael Fisher has got to be one of the hot hands in the league right now. Had 19 kills. I think he hit 500. And playing in Loretto was tough. We haven't won there in, I think, 4 years. Our seniors won there as freshmen. And so we haven't won there in quite some time. So we know every match in this league is tough, and every team is going to give us our hands full. And we also know that our level has a spectrum of play from good, medium to great. And so we're trying to stay focused on the task at hand and try to play great every point and stay humble as we do it, because certainly we've all been part of teams where you get too far ahead of yourself, and that's kind of the kiss of death. So trying to stay process-oriented and 1 game at a time, 1 step at a time, and that starts tomorrow in Loretto.